The crowd thought it was routine. The guards stood still, the ceremony rolled on, but in the middle of the square, an old man raised his trembling hand in salute. And when the guard answered, the meaning behind that gesture left everyone in tears. Salutes are symbols. They're not casual waves, they're promises, from one soldier to another, from one generation to the next. This is the story of the day an old veteran stood at Buckingham Palace, saluted the guard, and received an answer that spoke louder than words. His name was Arthur Bennett, 84 years old, a man whose medals had gathered dust in a wooden box under his bed. Arthur had served decades earlier, a soldier in conflicts long forgotten by most. But the discipline never left him. His back was curved now, but his pride was unbroken. On a warm afternoon, his granddaughter wheeled him to Buckingham Palace. "This was your old stomping ground, wasn't it, Granddad?" she teased. Arthur nodded, his eyes glassy. "Yes, this was where we stood." The crowd gathered thick. The band played. The guards marched into formation, rifles gleaming beneath the sun. Arthur sat near the front, his wrinkled hands folded tightly on his lap. When the soldiers halted, he slowly, painfully, raised one hand, fingers pressed to his brow in salute. His granddaughter whispered, "They won't notice, Granddad. They never break," but Arthur held it anyway. A salute not for tourists, not for cameras, but for memory. For brothers long gone. And then, something remarkable happened. The nearest guard shifted his rifle, snapped his boots, and in a motion so sharp it cut through the air, returned the salute. The crowd gasped. Phones rose in disbelief. Tourists whispered, "Did you see that?" He saluted back. Arthur's hand trembled harder. Tears filled his eyes. For a moment, it wasn't Buckingham Palace. It was memory. Young men lined in rows, saluting each other before the march of war. The applause came next. Not loud or chaotic, but gentle, respectful. Some tourists lowered their cameras. Some stood straighter. Children asked their parents, "Why did he do that?" Arthur whispered back, "Because he saw me." The clip spread across the internet within hours. Captions read, "The guard who saluted a veteran. One gesture, a lifetime of meaning." Comments filled with tears. "My grandfather served. I'm sobbing. That salute bridged generations. Respect to every soldier, past and present." Stories like this don't happen every day. If you want to witness more rare moments from the Queen's Guards, make sure you subscribe now, because tomorrow's salute could carry another lifetime of meaning. Arthur returned home that evening, his eyes brighter than they had been in years. He told his granddaughter stories she'd never heard, of the brothers he lost, of the cold nights when they huddled for warmth, of the way a simple salute had kept morale alive. "A salute," he said, "isn't just respect. It's a promise that we remember. That we never let each other fade." And in living rooms across the world, families replayed the viral clip. Veterans saluted their screens. Children mimicked the gesture, their tiny hands raised proudly. The guard's salute had done more than honor Arthur. It had reminded the world of the cost of freedom. That day taught something powerful. Tradition is not about stone faces. It's about connection. A salute is more than movement. It's recognition. It's honor passed from one hand to another. Arthur's salute was closure, for him, for his fallen brothers, for generations that often feel forgotten. And the guard's response? It was proof that memory lives on, as long as one soldier acknowledges another. Arthur wasn't the only veteran in the crowd that day. Across the square, a man in his 60s lowered his head, tears spilling down his cheeks. He, too, had once worn the uniform. He, too, had carried the weight of silence. When he saw Arthur's salute answered, he whispered, "That was for all of us." Other veterans online echoed the same. The moment didn't just belong to Arthur. It belonged to every soldier who had ever wondered if their sacrifice was remembered. The guard who returned the salute never spoke publicly. He didn't need to, but within the military community, it was said that he had family in service. His grandfather had served in the same regiment as Arthur's. Perhaps that was why he noticed. Perhaps that was why he chose to respond, breaking centuries of silence with one sharp gesture. Sometimes history circles back, uniting two strangers with a bond invisible to the crowd. Arthur's granddaughter posted the clip later, captioning it, "My granddad was seen. Thank you." The video reached relatives scattered across the country. Messages poured in, "He's a hero. We're proud of him." For Arthur's family, the salute became a legacy. Proof that his service had not vanished into dust, but lived on, acknowledged, honored, shared. The guards may look like stone, but every gesture hides a story. Don't miss the next one. Hit subscribe and stay with us for more untold moments from Buckingham Palace. Schools began using the clip in history lessons. Teachers showed children how one salute spoke of duty, courage, and sacrifice. Little hands raised to their brows in classrooms, mimicking Arthur's trembling salute. Respect, the teachers explained, is not about noise. It's about remembering those who stood before us. Arthur never knew it, but his small act was now shaping the next generation. Weeks later, Arthur passed away peacefully in his sleep. On the day of his funeral, his coffin was draped with the flag he once served under. And as the bugle played, his granddaughter whispered, "He was seen. He was honored." At Buckingham Palace, guards continued their march, boots striking stone. Tourists snapped photos, but somewhere within the rhythm, the echo of that salute remained. An eternal gesture, forever remembered, forever passed on. Months later, the guard who had saluted Arthur stood at his post again. The square was crowded, the routine unchanged, but in his heart, he remembered the old man with trembling hands. Every time his boots struck stone, he carried that memory like an unseen medal. And though he never spoke it aloud, to him, Arthur stood among the ranks every day. Arthur's granddaughter, moved by the moment, began volunteering at a veterans center. She told the story again and again, how one salute had lit up her grandfather's final months. Each time she spoke, she honored not just him, but all who had served. And in her quiet way, she carried the torch forward, becoming the voice her grandfather no longer had. The video didn't stay in Britain. It crossed oceans. Veterans in America, Canada, Australia, all watched, all saluted their screens. Messages appeared in every language. Respect has no borders. Soldiers everywhere understand. Arthur's salute had become more than a gesture. It was now a universal symbol, bridging nations through the shared language of service. This isn't just a British story, it's a global one. Respect has no borders, and neither should the stories we share. Join the Queen's Guard community and subscribe, so you don't miss the next salute remembered worldwide. One boy who saw the video decided to join the cadets. He told his mother, "If that salute meant so much, then I want to serve too." Arthur never met the boy, but his story shaped him. Generations are often moved not by speeches, but by moments. And this boy's decision proved that sometimes the smallest actions create the greatest ripple. Years later, the salute still lived online. Clips resurfaced every Remembrance Day, shared with captions like, "One soldier to another." Never forgotten, Arthur's name may fade with time, but his gesture would not. Because the salute was bigger than one man. It was a message across centuries: respect the past, honor the present, inspire the future. That moment taught the world, tradition is not about stone faces. It's about connection. A salute is more than movement. It's recognition, it's honor passed from one hand to another. And for Arthur, it was closure. The old veteran saluted, the guard saluted back, and in that instant, time folded, the past met the present, and respect crossed every boundary. Would you have saluted with Arthur if you were there? Comment below, and share this story with someone who believes a single gesture can change everything. Because on that day, at Buckingham Palace, a salute carried the weight of a lifetime. Be part of history. Subscribe to Queen Gods today.